Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you push, nothing is working? What if the struggle isn't necessary? Hi, I'm Snow White, and welcome back to another episode of Snow White and the 7 Does podcast. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new here, this podcast is all about self-help, mindset, wellness, becoming the highest favorite version of yourself, and stepping into your power. Today's episode is all about resistance. What is it and how to get on the path of least resistance? So resistance is an invisible force that is keeping you stuck. It is not something that is outside of you. It is something that you are responsible for. Resistance only happens when you ask for something and you don't let yourself go. Resistance is an inside job. It is internal. It only has to do with you. It has nothing to do with anyone else or anywhere else or anything else on this planet Earth other than you and your belief system. Your greater self, your higher self, went someplace that your physical self is not allowing you to go. So you had an experience in your life that inspired you for more. You said, I don't want this, I want this, right? But then you say, why isn't it here yet? Where is it? How come it's not here? And you keep shooting yourself in the foot, looking for 3D results without taking the action before the reaction. The larger part of you went somewhere where you're not allowing the physical part of you to follow because you are holding on to beliefs that are keeping you from the expansion that your life has inspired. So for my personal example, I want freedom. I want to get paid to travel. I want to be able to create freely, right? But then, if I'm not allowing myself to be that full expression of myself, and I'm living in fear, living in lack, that it's not here yet, that what happens if it doesn't show up? If you look at something and it bothers you, then it cannot change. You have to find a way to look at your current circumstance and know that it is temporary and that when you asked for it, the Creator said that it is done. It is done. So you do not need to ask for it again. You do not need to beg for it. You do not need to plead. You sit in the belief that it is done. It is coming. I am aligned. And you act as if it has already showed up. Because the universe isn't responding to what you desire, it's responding to who you are being. When you fixate on what is, you slow down what is becoming. Think of it as an iceberg. What I can currently see is the tip of the iceberg, but what is there under the water is massive, right? It is this massive thing that I cannot physically see yet, but I know it's there, right? You know that massive, like that iceberg is not just that little tip that's poking out of the water. It's everything that's under the water as well. So just because it's under the water, does that mean it's not real? No, it's just as real as what's above the water. It is just coming to emerge. It is slowly coming. So when someone asks you, like, how is your journey going? Have you gotten what you're manifesting yet? No. And then they ask you, why do you have a smile on your face? Well, because I know it's coming. It's already here. I'm not worried about the how, the where. I'm just focused on the feeling state of already having it. So I get to experience joy right now. I get to be the playful, fun, creative version of myself right now. Because I'm not trapping myself in fear. I'm not trapping myself in fear. I'm choosing faith. I'm choosing to be excited because I know that it is done. And by moving in that mindset, I am creative. I am inspired. I am relaxed. I am excited. But if I chose fear, then now I'm trying to control the situation. Now I'm moving in lack. Now I'm moving in resistance. Right? You're resisting the flow. In faith, I am flowing. Allowing means how much of who I really am I allowing to be? Are you shrinking yourself to the social conditioning that you have been brought up with or these beliefs that you've brought along the way? Don't feel shame for it. Hey, I built these beliefs around money, around love to protect myself. thank you for doing that, but I no longer need to hold on to these belief systems that are holding me back. I can take this weight off my shoulders. I can release it if I want to. It is all up to me. I can say, you know what? I believe in myself. I believe that when I ask for it, it is done. So I'm gonna live it. I'm gonna act it. I'm gonna know it. I'm gonna meditate and confirm it. I'm gonna visualize it so it feels real already. And I'm going to sit in that feeling state of already having it, because I know that when I do that, it is going to come. I don't have to worry about the how, the hard stuff. I don't. How much of who I really am I allowing by my choice of thought? How much of who I really am I allowing to be present in this current moment? That's the path of least resistance. You only feel bad when you don't allow who you really are to flow. So something in your life inspires you. You see an example of someone you want to be, or you travel and you get inspired to create something in your life inspires you, and resistance shows up when you don't allow yourself to go, when you don't allow yourself to flow. Your experience inspired that for a reason, but when you hold yourself back with your past belief systems, oh no, I can't achieve that because this. I can't want that because how could I want something so large? I can't want that because how can I justify that to other people? How will my mom think? How will my brother think? Is it their life? No, it's your life. And when you're your most authentic expression of yourself, you can be the most giving version of yourself, the most peaceful version of yourself, the most present version of yourself. And that inspires others to elevate to your level. So when you catch yourself blaming outside circumstances, outside other people, your boss, your mom, I only acted that way because they did this. Stop and realign yourself by acknowledging that nothing is outside of you. Your reaction to what they did is what is making you feel bad. And they're only showing you the part of you that is most active in your vibration. You focus on what you believe to be true. So when you're focused on the negative, the bad, you are going to constantly elicit people to trigger that response within you. If you allow yourself to be your most authentic expression of self, if you allow yourself to follow your inspiration, to follow your desire, to follow your goal without resistance, there is no self-pity, there is no insecurity, and there is no lack. You are whole. When what is most important to you is how you feel, your life will be bliss. Choose that you don't have to pay a price for anything. You do not have to struggle and slave away to get anything. You were born as an abundant being. You were not born into struggle. You were conditioned into struggle. Recondition your mind and your life has no choice but to follow. Be calm, be patient, be sure. Change your outlook of what a spiral is. Instead of a spiral being down, like everything's crumbling, everything's falling, it's all going to crap, instead of thinking of that, of being scared of the spiral, think of it as a learning lesson, as a step up to your next level. This happened so that this could happen. This caused a reaction within me that inspired me to want more for myself. Now that I want more for myself, I know that I can attain it because my desire, put it on my heart because it already exists. It already exists. That reality is already created. So this spiral is a stair step into me receiving what I want. If you look at it as a negative, it's going to be a negative. But if you look at it as a positive, as a learning lesson, as something that can help you, as something that is leading you to that goal, because what your current life that you're holding on to so tightly, is that your authentic self? Is it? If you asked for more and then things start falling apart, don't you think that that's the stair step into what you asked for? Instead of freaking out, have faith that it is going your way, that everything is unfolding for you. not to you. Resistance is a protective mechanism rooted in fear, control, trauma, and ego. It shows up as procrastination, overthinking, self-doubt, and tension in the body. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." He also said that flow is the natural state of the soul. You want change, but then you fear the unknown. But if it was predictable, it wouldn't be new. It wouldn't be change. You have to have faith in the unknown in order to experience something new. If you ask for change, but then you resist it every time change comes, you are forcing yourself to stay where you were. You are forcing yourself to not evolve. Forcing a relationship, a career path, or a project where energy is just off. We resist because the ego wants safety. Resistance is the ego's defense. We have been conditioned to associate ease with laziness and struggle with worthiness. Let go of your struggle mindset. Let go of the need to struggle. The definition of success in your mind that you need to struggle to get there. You have to recondition yourself into a mindset that I get paid to exist. My life, the more I relax, the more I receive. If you truly believe that, if you truly believe that, and like you didn't just state that and then started looking around for results that is true, if you truly believe that, it would be in your reality now. Fear of success or fear of failure, they are both paths of resistance. And if you want success so badly, but then you're talking crap about people that are rich, people that are successful, you are causing resistance to your own physical success. Let's stop pretending like we have haters, okay? You don't have haters. You have people that hate themselves that are projecting that hate onto you. Leave that hate right where it formed, with them. When we're deregulated, we push instead of flow. So work on regulation of your nervous system. Work on meditating. Practice yoga. Positive self-talk. Don't leave that mirror until you are firm on your belief system, until it is not an if or but, it is. No one outside of you can change you. It is all up to you. It is your work, your discipline, your love for yourself that is going to prove the reaction that you want. How much you love yourself, how much you deeply, truly love yourself, reflects how much you believe in yourself, reflects how much you allow yourself to be you. So here are some signs to look for that are dead giveaways that you're resisting. Constantly exhausted or forcing outcomes. Things feel off no matter how hard you try. You keep looping in decisions, self-sabotage, or you cannot commit. Physical signs that you are resisting: your chest will tighten, your jaw will clench, and your breathing will become shallow. So when you feel that happening, take a moment, slow your breath, come back to your body, come back to the aligned state that you have worked on, that you've journaled about, you've done shadow work for, you've identified what you want and why, you've meditated on it. When you meditate on it, it's going to be so much easier to come back to that in your day-to-day, because things in your outside circumstance are going to trigger you. That's how the universe tests you to see if you're ready to receive what you asked for. If you respond how the version of you who already has it to the situation that the universe is testing you with, you will receive it. Think of that trigger as the open door of your gift, of your desire. That trigger is literally just a door for you to open and walk right through. But then you see the door and you're like, oh, no, this one's not for me. And you close it and you go the other way. The path of least resistance is the path of alignment. True spiritual alignment doesn't mean easy in the lazy sense. It means easeful. It means I don't have to try to show up as the person. Like, I don't have to put on a mask. I don't have to put on a facade, play a role that I am not to receive this. I show up as my authentic self. It is easy for me to be myself. It is super easy for me to do what I love. It is super easy for me to feel passion and produce what I love. It is hard for me to put on a fake face, fake smile, like clothes that don't feel comfortable to me, and go to work every single day and do something that I don't like. It is really hard for me to do that. It is really easy for me to show up and talk about what I like, talk about what I love, be myself, be playful, be abundant. It is really easy for me to feel my best doing that. It is really hard for me to resist. So follow the path that feels easy to you. Alignment feels guided, supported, synchronized. Flow doesn't mean no effort, it means aligned effort. How can I move in flow? Pause and get still. If you have a problem with meditating and sitting down and being still, it is a problem. There is something in your subconscious that you are not willing to meet yet. You are running from. That is why it is boring to you, or you can't do it, or it is hard, because you are scared to face yourself. Okay? I'm going to be as blunt and as honest as possible. So when I talk about meditation and and then somebody who has never practiced it before, or they've tried and they failed and and they immediately go, oh, I can't do that, that's so boring, No, it's like, that is you putting your cards on the table to me as someone who has gone through that hard part of facing myself in the mirror. And I'm not perfect. Every single day I'm learning new things. Every single day something triggers me and I have to re-evolve, realign. And I'm certain that there's some things that I probably haven't faced either. I'm not framing myself as perfect. But what I'm saying is that if that is you, if you cannot sit still with yourself, there is something that you are running from, or that you are too scared to admit to yourself. Most resistance comes from being disconnected from your intuition. And taking that time to pause and be still will connect you to your intuition.
It's like, you know how people pray, right? People send off a prayer. They sit there, they pray, they ask, but then you don't listen, right? It's that time to listen, to surrender to a greater mind and listen for the answers that you're asking for.
And then you're able to easily find stillness and moments with yourself throughout the day. You can connect to your intuition with your eyes open. But it is most powerful, most strong when you close these eyes and open the third one. When you align, your third one is one that is whole, that is unified. You are not better than anyone. You are not lesser than anyone. You are one with everyone and everything. So when you align, you don't need to chase. It comes to you because you are one with everything. You are now one with the greater mind within you. You can now create effortlessly because when you shoot out those rockets of desires, it effortlessly comes to you when you walk the path of alignment. Because then you meet people, you go to places, you encounter things that bring you closer to that vision, to that goal, to your aligned self. Ask better questions. Instead of asking, how do I fix this? Ask, what would this look like if it were easy? Your body will physically feel it. Follow what feels open. If it feels expansive, follow it. If your body contracts to the thought of it, don't follow it. Let go of the outcome. Choose the path that feels alive, even if it's uncertain. And when you choose that, there are going to be moments that trigger you, that reflect your past self because it hasn't fully cleared out yet. Your energy there's like a backlog. So when that happens, now that you're aware that you're contracting, that you're experiencing resistance, now you can note it and regulate. so that you can realign. Regulate your nervous system with breath work, with journaling, going for walks in nature without your phone. Connect. Okay, so some journal prompts to reflect on for this week's episode. Where am I forcing? Where am I flowing? If I trusted life completely, what would I do differently? Resistance is not the enemy, it's the messenger. When you stop releasing resistance, you get access to a whole new level of peace and power. Comment down below your biggest takeaway and where you've been resisting. Let's build a community to uplift and inspire each other, because you are me, I am you, we are one. So when I win, you win. When you lose, I lose. Tag a friend who might need to hear this message. And please, 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 if you enjoyed this episode, if it resonated with you, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference for my channel. If you'd like some tools to help you along on your journey, check out my link tree down below. My Etsy has a 4-week high vibe challenge that can help you with shadow work, identifying the underlying problem, and aligning with the path of least resistance for you. Thank you so much for listening or watching. I'm Snow White. This is Snow White and the 7 Does podcast, and I'll see you next week.